The NFL draft has officially come and gone, and we've got a long summer ahead of us before football starts up again. Hello, welcome to the Top of the Line, and I'm Nick Lynch.
I'm Ben Heltzer.
And today we will be going over the official top 10 picks of the NFL draft and give our opinion on whether each pick was a hit or a miss. So without further ado, let's get into it. So in picks 1 to 5, the Chicago Bears, number 1 overall pick, they take Caleb Williams. I mean, no shock, no anything. We knew this all along.
Yep, 100%. It was the right pick. Definitely a hit. Caleb Williams is an amazing talent, and we knew this from the start, right when they traded Justin Fields. No shock, no surprise here.
With the second pick, the Washington Commanders select Jaden Daniels. I was kind of surprised about this pick. I thought Washington was going to take Drake May. I mean, I don't think either one of them would have done well because it's the Washington Commanders. They don't really have the right weapons to surround these young quarterbacks.
Yeah, I agree, but I think overall Daniels was probably the better pick, the better fit for them, and they kind of hinted at taking him earlier, so I wasn't really too surprised. I think it was a great pick on their part, but they just have to put in the work to actually make him a great talent.
Drake May went a pick later to the New England Patriots, to one of the most successful football teams in history. And I think this was a good pick for the Patriots. I think it's going to take him some time to get used to the NFL, but I think overall he's going to be a pretty decent quarterback.
Yeah, 100%, and it has everything to do with the team he's going to. I think that New England is such a good organization historically. They know how to make, franchise quarterbacks, and I think that they're going to do exactly that with Drake May. And they're going to do what they couldn't do with Mac Jones.
Yeah, I agree. With the fourth pick, the first non-quarterback to go in the draft, Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Arizona Cardinals. This is a terrific fit for Marvin Harrison. He's going to be playing with Kyler Murray, and I think he is going to be the next superstar wide receiver in this league.
Yeah, and once again, no surprises here. I figured that he was going to fall to them, and him and Kyler Murray are going to be a deadly duo in Arizona. Maybe not this upcoming season, but for future seasons, I'm pretty sure Arizona is going to be right back contending for that division.
I agree. And with the fifth overall pick, with the
Chargers selected.
But the LA Chargers select Joe Alt with the fifth overall pick, the offensive tackle out of Notre Dame. And I think this was a good pick because I am a Notre Dame football fan, so I'm happy to see Joe Alt get drafted by a good team.
Yeah, I think we thought that they were going to take Malik Neighbors just because they lost Keenan Allen, lost Mike Williams. I just thought it made sense to get a replacement, but they ended up going with Joe Alt, which I guess makes sense to give Herbert a little more protection. You have the greatest weapons in the world, but if you have 2 seconds to throw the ball every snap, you're not going to produce much offense. So I think that overall was the right pick. Not what we predicted, but I think it makes sense for LA.
Yeah, I agree. So our top 5 picks: Caleb Williams going first, Jaden Daniels going second to Washington, Drake May to New England at 3, Marvin Harrison Jr. to Arizona at 4, and Joe Alt at number 5 to the Chargers. And now our picks 6 to 10. The New York Giants are on the clock with number 6, and they take Malik Neighbors, wide receiver out of LSU. And I think this kid has Odell Beckham Jr. written all over him.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Definitely the pick over Odunze. I didn't even think he was going to fall to them, but he did, and it was the exact right pick. They took him, and I think it gives Daniel Jones a great weapon to work with to maybe come out of his shell a little bit. It could be exactly what they need.
Yeah, I agree. And with the 7th pick, the Tennessee Titans, they take an offensive lineman. I did not expect that because the Titans, they need so many positions on offense. It's not even funny.
I know, but with the young Will Levis at the helm, I think that getting that, bolstering the O-line, giving him more time to throw the ball is exactly what he needs to really break out and become that franchise quarterback for the Titans, and they could worry about weapons a little later on.
I definitely agree. With the 8th pick in the draft, oh my God, who had the 8th?
The Atlanta Falcons selected.
The Atlanta Falcons select Michael Penix Jr., the quarterback out of Washington. And I think I say this for everyone here. This was the worst pick in the NFL draft.
100%. No idea why they take him when they just paid Kirk Cousins. I have no idea how much, but they paid him a lot. to come here to Atlanta, and they just immediately draft his replacement, who they're not even going to use for at least 4 years.
Yeah.
And I just didn't understand it. It wasn't the best pick, but
Nah.
they made it. So
With the 9th overall pick, the Chicago Bears, they get their second top 10 pick of the draft, and they take Rome Odunze, the wide receiver out of Washington. And I think, honestly, I was kind of confused about this pick because the Bears need offensive line help, so I did not expect a wide receiver to go.
I actually like the pick. I think you just go all out. Just another addition to that amazing offense that's going to be absolutely electric this year. Not Justin Fields. Caleb Williams is going to have himself a season passing to the likes of Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and Rome Odunze. I think that offense is going to be scary, and I would not be surprised if Caleb Williams leads his guys to a division title in just his first year.
Yes. The Minnesota Vikings trade up to the 10th pick to get J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback out of Michigan. This is a great pick. Him and Justin Jefferson are going to be great together.
I actually 100% agree. I love this pick from the Vikings. I love the move. I was pretty low on J.J. McCarthy. I was always thought that he should have, not declared early. He should have stayed for his senior year. And I didn't think he was going to do good. But with a team like the Vikings, who has Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hawkinson, a young Jordan Addison, and good, pretty good protection, I think that he could do well. And I think he could do better than a lot of people expect.
Yeah, I agree. Well, unfortunately, we are out of time on the NFL today, but don't leave because when we return, me and Rocco will be talking about the NBA playoffs here on Top of the Line. Hello, and welcome to Top of the Line. I'm Nick Lynch.
Roger Coppola along with you.
And we are still in the first round of the NBA playoffs. Some teams still have games to play. Some teams have already moved on and have the extra rest for the second round. So the first series we're going to talk about is the Suns and the Timberwolves. Minnesota are the first team to move on, and the Suns are the first team out. And Minnesota swept Phoenix in 4 games.
I mean, yeah, the Timberwolves' first series win in the playoffs, I believe, since 2004. It's been that long.
2004, you're right.
Yeah, Minnesota, hey, they deserved it. Everybody on that team played to their best of their ability. Anthony Edwards was fantastic. I thought they were just amazing. And it's crazy how the Suns didn't lose to the Timberwolves in the regular season, and everybody was talking like, oh, I think the Suns got their number. This is going to be a bloodbath. This is going to be bad. And I knew the Timberwolves were going to win the entire time. I picked them to win in 6. That's how confident I was in this team. Anthony Edwards, is he a future MVP?
Absolutely.
Maybe. Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody on that team, whether it was Gobert, whether it was Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards himself, the coaching there is great too, which is why I hope Chris Finch has a successful knee surgery.
Yeah, there's an injury that's not player related. It's one of the coaches for Minnesota. Chris Finch has to have knee surgery, so we wish him a speedy recovery. Minnesota will play the Denver Nuggets in the next round, and speaking of Denver, they played the Lakers and beat them in 5 games.
They had you for a second. They thought the Lakers were going to come back and just do something crazy. Yeah, let's be real. Everybody knew the Nuggets were going to win.
Yeah. In Game 4, the Lakers snapped an 11-game losing streak against Denver, which was the first win against Denver in 499 days. It's been that long since they've beaten Denver.
D'Angelo Russell bounced back from 0 points in Game 3 to 21 in Game 4, and what a way to bounce back. D'Angelo Russell is a fantastic player. I love watching him play ever since he's come into the league. I think that he's still a very good player in this league, whether he's a role player, a bench guy, even a starter. I think he could do any of that.
Yeah.
It's crazy how the Lakers had the lead in every game at the half of the season, and they lost in 5 games. 5 games is all it took. I don't think LeBron's played his last game in the NBA. Do we really think he's played his last game with Bronny right on the cusp of being in the league?
He's talked about it in recent years, but his number one goal is he really wants to play with his son.
He'll play at least 1 year with his son, I'd imagine.
Yeah,
But
Lakers already want to draft his son, Bronny James, who is entering the NBA draft this summer.
if it means keeping LeBron, then I guess go for it. But there's no guarantee Bronny's going to be that good. I'm a little bummed out about Darvin Ham not returning, or not expected to return, at least.
Yeah, he's not expected to return. I mean, Yeah, the
I
Lakers
think it's
should have moved
questionable.
on.
That's questionable in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like, I think he was a great coach. He got them to the Western Conference Finals last year. I know he lost in 4, but you can only do so much when your roster is just not delivering when it matters most. And not delivering, it's hard to deliver when you don't have Zion Williamson if you're the New Orleans Pelicans.
Yeah, speaking of the Pelicans, Zion Williamson was questionable for Game 4. He did not play. He is the only 2019 lottery pick to not play in a playoff game. Out of the 16 picks in 2019, who knew that the number 1 overall pick wasn't going to play in a playoff game yet?
It's unbelievable, and I feel bad for him. He stayed healthy this entire season,
Yeah.
and now he can't even play in the first round. It was a freak injury, but it's a shame, man. He was having such a good year. And the Thunder, I mean, credit to them. They've been playing good. A lot of people don't believe in them, but they're the youngest NBA team to ever win a playoff series.
Yeah, Chet Holmgren, 11 blocks in 3 playoff games, and we know his height. He's almost as tall as Victor Wembanyama coming out of that draft last year.
And that's unbelievable. And Victor is his own breed, you know. We know how good he is, and he's going to be a legend for the Spurs to come, at least in my opinion. It's early, but that's what I'm thinking. Just nothing really to touch on. I mean, Pelicans you can't match up to the Thunder without Zion.
Yes.
A great matchup though is the Mavericks and the Clippers.
Yes, Mavericks and the Clippers. Dallas took Game 3, and the Clippers took Game 4. So
Back and forth now. So we're
back
at
and forth.
2-2. Russell Westbrook is still absolutely garbage from the field. 1 point in Game 3. And the series is tied 2-2 heading back to LA. I got a feeling this is going to 7.
Yeah, I think who's going to come out on top though?
Mavericks. I'm not betting against Luka.
Mavericks.
Won't do it. I will not bet against Luka Doncic.
The Clippers have just been so solid all year. It's kind of hard to imagine them getting knocked down in the first round of the playoffs.
It's interesting. You know, I think they're a great team.
Well, we're going to take a break, but we'll go over the Eastern Conference playoffs when we come back. Welcome back. So now we are going to talk about the Eastern Conference, starting with the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. The Celtics got their revenge on Miami after last season's Eastern Conference Finals. So what did you think of the series?
I mean, easy, never much of a challenge. I mean, we knew that Miami wasn't really going to have much of a chance without Jimmy Butler. Bam Adebayo can't do all the work. And Jaime Jaquez Jr., I mean, like, he's a rookie. You can't really expect too much out of him just yet. I mean, Boston, you're 64-18. You take care of business. That's how it should be.
Yeah, I agree. With Tyler Hero, he had like one good game, but
I don't like Tyler Hero.
Unfortunately, one good game isn't going to do it in a best out of 7 series. With Derek White for the Boston Celtics, he had 38 points in Game 4, 25 in Game 5. But the bad news is for Celtics fans is that Kristaps Porzingis, with a calf injury, is out for multiple weeks. I do not think he's going to play the next series for Boston.
No way. Boston's not going to have him for maybe the rest of the season. Depending if they make the finals or not, we'll see. But, yeah, big loss for the Celtics. Porzingis, I know he's not what he really used to be in New York, obviously, or in Dallas for that matter, but he's still an important piece of the Celtics. So you got to wonder, who's going to step up? Who's going to help Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown out? How are they going to move on? Who are they going to play? Because looking like it could be the Cavs.
Yeah, Cleveland or Orlando, but we'll get to that series in a little bit. But the 76ers and the New York Knicks, the Knicks go up 3-1. They go up 3-2 because Philly came back in Game 5 and beat the Knicks at Madison Square Garden.
Tyrese Maxey wanted to turn into Son Goku for 5 minutes, and all of a sudden now 46 points, and he just it's so hard to. I can't even put in the words.
In Game 4 for Jalen Brunson with 47 points to set a new franchise record for the Knicks with most points in a single playoff game, and that's pretty amazing for the Knicks.
And yeah, Brunson's been firing on all cylinders ever since they went to Philly those 2 games, and obviously had the Game 4, and he did good in Game 5 too. Unfortunately, Tyrese Maxey just had a little too much for the Knicks to overcome.
And Tyrese Maxey answered back with 46 points in Game 5. Mitchell Robinson with a costly foul on Tyrese Maxey at the end of regulation, which he made the 3-pointer and got the foul, so it was a 4-point play for Maxey.
And it's interesting because the NBA just announced yesterday on May 1st that the referees missed a travel call on Tyrese Maxey, but Yeah, terrible no call. At the end of the day, though, when you're up by 6 with 28 seconds left and you're about to clinch a second round playoff berth, you got to find a way to close that out, man.
I agree.
No excuses for that. And now the Bucks, who are over in Milwaukee, having some trouble closing the Pacers out.
It's the other way around. Indiana is having trouble closing Milwaukee out. The Bucks are the first team in NBA history to win a playoff game without their top 2 scorers in the regular season, which are Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard. No Giannis, no Lillard. They're questionable for Game 6. The Pacers can definitely move on to the Eastern Conference Finals if they close Milwaukee out. I think
the Eastern Conference Finals, they can win the Eastern Conference semifinals too.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know that. Pacers, very talented. Are they one-dimensional? Maybe. But at the end of the day, you keep winning these games. It doesn't matter because you're always going to be firing. It's all about the offense in the playoffs, in my opinion.
I agree.
Which offense shows up when it matters most? Which offense is going to score the most? Who's going to win? That's all that matters in the playoffs, aside from the bench players who had to step up and help too.
I think if the Pacers and the Knicks are able to close out their series, the Pacers are not going to go easy on the Knicks. I think they're going to take them to 7 games, and
I think the
it's
Pacers,
going to be tough.
if the Pacers meet the Sixers, if they somehow miraculously come back and beat the Knicks, I'd imagine
I take Indiana.
Indiana should probably win that series because the Sixers are going to have nothing left in the tank. They emptied all of it out to make that comeback against the Knicks, and then they're going to be fed right to the best offense in the NBA. But we got to see if they come back against the Knicks first.
Yeah, a really tight series, and another really tight series is the Orlando Magic and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Every home team has won every game in that series as Cleveland takes the lead 3-2.
Close one too, very tight.
Yeah, unfortunately, Paolo Banchero's 39 points isn't enough to win Game 5 for Orlando. But the Magic in Games 3 and 4 back in Central Florida, they outscored Cleveland by 60 points combined in Games 3 and 4, and that's pretty amazing.
Amazing. I mean, Paolo Banchero has been amazing all season long, and now we're starting to really see him take his game up to another level. And you need to see that in the playoffs if you want to move on or have a chance. And Paolo's been exceptional. He's been the best player on the Magic this entire series, and it's not over yet. I know that it's 3-2. It might look a little bleak, but the Magic are not out of it yet. They still have a chance. Spider Mitchell, he's doing good too. At the end of the day, though, it's a 7-game series for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's it for us on the NBA.
Hello, I'm Marco Baldino.
And I'm Andrew Mirzaaghasi.
And we will be covering games in the Premier League and the Champions League first leg. So let's get straight to it.
So we have our first game, Man City versus Nottingham Forest. Man City wins 2-0, and I'm glad they won 2-0. It was a very good game. Haaland came to help, and
It's about time Holland showed up.
Yep.
But he's not going to show up in the bigger games, obviously.
I mean, yeah, but at least this time he actually helped to score, so I could give it that. It was a huge sweep too, 2-0. I'm glad that we won that game.
Yeah, but I feel like City were also kind of lucky that Nottingham Forest didn't score at all because they had their chances. But you're lucky that there's such a really terrible team and they just really couldn't finish. They had their chances, but a lot of just missed opportunities from them.
Yeah, they had their chances and they blew it, so it's technically not our fault. So I'll take it with that.
Well, yeah, you guys keep your title race hopes alive.
Yep, our hopes alive. And instead of us almost blowing up the win with Arsenal versus Tottenham, where Arsenal almost got tied with Tottenham. It was 3-2. How did they mess this up? How did they mess it up? I have no clue.
Yeah, but this is a very strong win from Arsenal. Definitely keeping their chances for winning the league possibly this year. But yeah, I mean, also Kai Havertz. It was a great. I'm still amazed that Arsenal get Kai Havertz. It's such a great signing by them. But yeah.
Yeah, honestly. I don't know how. They scored only in the first half, by the way, Arsenal. Yeah. So they were mostly just trying to, keep their distance, trying to do defense. But I felt like they were too relaxed because then, it ended up being 3-2, which I kind of felt like it was weird that they were just, taking it slow, especially at the second half, because I would have still scored, trying to keep it up, because Arsenal's in first right now. But that still shocked me that they almost tied, because if it wasn't for the offsides goal by with Tottenham, then it would have ended up being a tie. So
Pretty good game. I mean, it's a rival game too, so it's good to watch.
yeah, it's very good to watch. And what's also not very good to watch
For
is
Liverpool fans, yeah.
Yep, for Liverpool. Liverpool versus West Ham ended with a draw 2-2. And this is coming from their loss against Everton, I think.
Yes, and this really takes them out of the title race now. They're definitely not going to win the title this year. And just, I don't get how Liverpool played or like choke it this bad.
Yeah, I don't know how they choked.
28 shots in this game, and they really couldn't finish. But I will give West Ham some credit with their really good defensive work many times in the game.
You know, I will also give them credit for the defense work, because especially against Liverpool, who have
Yeah.
been like before scoring and winning, and then they lose to Everton, and now they're just tying with West Ham.
Yeah.
It's the most shocking thing ever. And this, of course, brings them down to the title race. I think they went from first to third now, which was quite shocking because
They're definitely out of the title race now. But
Yeah,
they still will
honestly.
definitely make the Champions League.
Yeah, at least
Yeah.
with that. So with the Premier League, we have our standings. In first, we have Arsenal with 80 points. Second, Man City with 79 points. Liverpool in third with 75. Fourth is Aston Villa with 67 points. And in fifth place, we have Tottenham with 60 points. So very neck and neck for first and
Yeah,
second. It's a
definitely.
1-point difference. So we'll see how it goes. I'm still hoping that Man City would make it. So
Yeah. I mean, my prediction for City win the league again definitely could happen.
it could happen anytime. Who knows? Maybe Arsenal could keep their lead up.
Oh yeah. I mean, it would be awesome if Arsenal won the league this year, because they've been struggling lately over the past few years. But this would be really nice if they won the league.
It would also see
Yeah.
some nice variety as well. So I wouldn't mind if they also won as well. So now on to the Champions League. We have Real Madrid versus Bayern.
And we kick off in Munich, Germany. Overall, this game was a pretty even battle, going back and forth with the goals, but this game ended 2-2 draw.
a 2-2 draw. It's a very interesting game, I would say. It was pretty entertaining overall. I was on the edge of my seat while watching the game. So
First goal, Vinicius Jr., of course, scoring, runs straight past the defensive line of Bayern Munich and just gets sent a through ball, and he easily scores. And like, I don't get how he was able to run past the back line so easily, but it was Bayern Munich defender Kim Min-jae who tried to like press high, but obviously lost in a race to Vinicius Jr.
it is unfortunate.
Yep.
So hopefully in the second leg, we'll see who wins. Honestly, it might go to penalties. Anything could happen with that game, because beforehand we had Real Madrid and Man City ended with a tie, and they went on to penalties. So hopefully, or maybe we'll see if that same fate will happen.
We'll see.
as well.
Yeah, but let's go to the next goal. Sane ties the game with a nice run into the box and a strong
that
finish
was very
near
good.
post. Really strong finish.
That was a really
Tying the
strong
game.
finish. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
So things wouldn't get better for Real Madrid, because 4 minutes later they'll concede a penalty, with Harry Kane obviously scoring this penalty, which will make Bayern Munich up 2-1 in this game.
2-1.
Yep. But later in the game, in the 83rd minute, Bayern Munich would later concede a penalty. But do you know who would cause this penalty?
Who would cause the penalty?
Bayern Munich defender, once again making a mistake, Kim Min-jae.
He's not
This
really
is-
doing good at this game at all.
No, two very crucial mistakes leading to goals.
That's not good.
That's not good for him, no, at all.
That's not good. I didn't expect him to fumble that much.
And Vinicius Jr. scoring the penalty, that will be his brace of the night, and this game will end 2-2. To be honest, though, I feel like Bayern Munich definitely deserve to win this game with their chances they have. I feel like they definitely deserve to win, but at the same time, their center back costing the game. But we'll see what happens next in Madrid.
Yeah, we'll see, because honestly, I have no clue who's going to win this one. If it does go to penalties, then we'll see who is the better scorer for that. So now we have PSG versus Dortmund, and Dortmund won 1-0.
So so far, my prediction is right with Dortmund winning, but I feel like Dortmund definitely like stole this game, like snatched a crucial win, 1-0.
Yeah, that could
Yeah.
be, but this is also kind of similar to Barcelona versus
Yeah.
PSG, where Barcelona won, but then at the end, PSG just
Yeah.
made a comeback and they just won.
Well, both teams in this game had several chances, but especially I don't get how PSG didn't score in this game. Because, well, second half was all PSG, all attack. I don't get how. They hit the post several times, and, like, I don't get how.
I don't know either, but
Just really unfortunate, and then the other times, like, you got to score that.
yeah,
Yeah.
They have to like score no matter what. But to me, if Mbappe's on the field and he realizes that he can never score, he will always come back and try to go harder and score.
He's definitely scoring in the second leg.
All the anger from the
Yeah.
first leg of this game will cause him to like score a lot in the second leg, and I
Yeah.
have a prediction for that too.
Yeah, but, like, so in the second game, I just don't see Dortmund winning. Because, like, they barely survived the second half of this game. But I don't see them, like, surviving in Paris.
Yeah, I don't see that either. I
Yeah.
felt like my prediction will probably come true, where PSG would absolutely destroy them in the second leg, and then they will move on. But honestly, that's just me.
So, finally, before we end the show, we just need to acknowledge how Jadon Sancho has been playing since he left Manchester United.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing really good. He's really been showing up to these big games and just really skillful player. It's fun to watch him play.
Yeah, it's very entertaining to see him play, honestly. I always cheer for him every time
Yeah.
he makes a very good play and everything. So, very good
Very
overall.
good. Yep.
Thanks for watching. Tune in next week for a recap of NFL and NBA basketball games and the continuing coverage of soccer. All of this and more on the next episode of Top of the Line.